identifying the desired results, the next step in backward design from Wiggins and Gutai is to determine acceptable evidence. So educators and learners know when the expectations have been met. So in this part of the blog series, we're going to talk about eliciting and assessing learner performance. Carefully written performance tasks elicit performance at targeted levels, and they also motivate learners to engage. IPAs, or integrated performance assessments, are bundles of tasks including an interpretive, an interpersonal, and a presentational, which are all connected. It is especially the interpersonal and presentational where the writing the task is really important. So what does the task need to include? It needs to include a situation. This is the content, the context, and the roles of the people that are going to be communicating together. For example, if a learner is just talking to another learner about what they like, what foods they like, that is one situation. But a very different situation would be if they're writing a letter to the school board suggesting healthier foods for the cafeteria. Another thing that we have to pay attention to in writing a task is purpose. And the purpose is going to dictate the language functions. Will the student be narrating? Will they be asked to agree or disagree? And remember that real-world tasks with communicative purposes allow students to see how their language skills work in a practical scenario. So we want to target a level with the task. Are learners expected to ask questions, or are they also expected to ask follow-up questions? Asking questions might be more novice, asking follow-up questions is really more intermediate. Or maybe they're even asked to come to a consensus in their discussion. So when we talk about determining acceptable evidence, we're really thinking about how we're going to elicit learner performance. We also then need to have very clear criteria, language criteria, that a learner is to meet. Communication is complex, and we want to analyze development of various language elements, and so it is best assessed on a rubric. Each element in a rubric, or each row on a rubric, is a domain. And in each domain, we describe the performance at beginning, developing, meeting, and exceeding. These make up the cells of the rubric. And in this way, we clearly outline how well learners are expected to communicate. Educators can adopt, adapt, or develop a rubric for each mode of communication. And I'll talk more about rubrics in another part of this blog series. Well-written performance tasks and rubrics outline acceptable evidence for learners. Next up is instruction and learning experiences.